Hello, fellow fans of the bass. Welcome back to Phil Plays Bass, edition number 38 of the scheduled streams. Welcome back, this is a place where we exchange videos, ideas, music we like, tips about practicing, tips about getting better at music, life, and bass in general. Before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That does really help the channel, so if you can spare a second to give it a like on YouTube or Twitch, I would really appreciate it. If you do fancy supporting the channel, there's a bunch of links there. Most importantly, Phil drinks coffee. That's where you'll be able to buy me a coffee or any kind of beverage that I would fancy. Thank you very much for joining us today. I've spent an awful lot of time again working on the website today. More time than I should have, probably more time than I should have. Let me turn down this music a little bit. Here we go. Okay, a little bit of quiet. Hello, Zachar. How are you? Nice to see you, dude. How's the studying session going? Today, I'll be doing some more practicing as expected, and I'll be sort of recapitulating what I've been transcribing over the last sort of month and a half that I've been streaming more regularly. And there's a whole bunch of things actually that I've did. I don't think I've transcribed this much in a while. Zahar says, pretty chill, only easy exams left. That's good to hear, man. That's good. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. It's because you know you're chilling now. Well, don't let your guard down. You never know. You never know. You went to see one band yesterday? Cool, dude. Local band? Kinda, yes, but no. Oh. Cryptic. Russian band, but not local. Local-ish. I've got to move the camera around a little bit. Right. In the meantime, what was I doing? I was doing some practicing, obviously. But of what kind? I wanted to try something new with that super famous, one of my famous arpeggio exercises. The one that's this one that goes through all the modes of the G major scale. I'm picking G because it's in a nice place to the neck, allows me to cover a bunch of ground, and most importantly, allows me to have access to those higher extensions. Hello, Michael. You didn't miss anything? I was just getting started. Zahar says there is a Russian YouTube series where basically one actor plays all the roles, and there is a parody on Rock Band. So he basically recorded an album and played gigs. Oh wow, okay, cool. And they were actually recorded at your uni. My professor is the sound engineer. Oh wow, dude, that's really cool. That is very cool. Kudos to that. Some interesting initiative there. So what did I want to do with this exercise? I'm going to lay myself bare a little bit, guys, and confess that I haven't done any sort of fretboard knowledge in a while. And it really became apparent the other day as I was trying to call out the notes just to myself. And it was a real pain. I was very, very rusty in my fretboard knowledge. And it really took me a while to sort of get back into it. And it's annoying because I know all the notes on the fretboard. It's just they don't come back to me as quickly as I wanted them to. So the idea of this exercise, just to recapitulate on the shape that this takes, it's basically a major arpeggio, major 7 arpeggio, that goes all the way to catch the 9th and the 11th of the chord. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, i.e., 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're all there, but we do every other note in order to get an arpeggio. But on the way down, it's a C major 7 arpeggio, which is the corresponding fourth. It's a fourth removed from G. And all of these modes, we're going to play the same thing, but what I'm trying to say is that there's two ways to approach it. You either think of it as an ascending arpeggio in G major and then a descending arpeggio in C major 7, or you think of it as just one G major, i.e. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 10, 6, 8, 6, 4, 3, 1, and then do the same thing. The same numbers, but obviously adapted to the mode that we're in. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because I will be stumbling all over myself trying to remember the name of the notes. And some of them, I mean, it happens way higher up the neck than I would want to. So I thought it'd be an interesting thing, just because it's a proper brain fryer for me. So I'm just going to jump in and give it a go. No metronome for this one, but there's no point. Sometimes I just pause and stare blankly into the abyss because I can't remember the name of this bloody note, which is, now I know, a D. I've always known that, but when you're on the spot, it's a bit silly. But I can't quite remember always what I should remember. So let's start easy. First one: G, D, D, F sharp, A, C, B, G, E, C, B, G. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna say the name of the notes to myself, and see, and do that for a couple of days, and see if there's any kind of improvement. On your B string, Michael. Yeah, I feel you. That's why I'm only sticking to the 4 string today, and then we'll bring in an extra string as we progress. So let's attack the second one, and this is where I get confused. A, C, E, G, B, D, C, A, F sharp, D, C, A. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. A, C, E, G, B, D. Come on, C, A, F sharp, C, D, C, A. You see what I mean? It seems very silly, right? But by the time I get to the 3rd or 4th chord, I'm, just before I get back to the sort of what we all know, which is the same 5 frets up here, and even so, it's still a bit confusing. Okay, 3rd mode of the G major scale, which is B Phrygian, which is a minor 7th chord with a flat 6 and a flat 9. So the notes of the notes of this arpeggio, and this will lead nicely into a bit of theory later on, because it's got to be done. So we start in B. B is the 3rd mode of the G major scale. So we've got B, D, F sharp, A, C, E, D, B, G, E, D, B. It's really silly because I do know the name of these notes. I can pick each and every one of them. It's just when it comes to announcing them on the spot, I just get a bit confused. I get a bit confused because it's in, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's an arpeggio. But regardless, I think it's a cool exercise. Okay, this one again. B, D, F sharp, A, C, E. But that's kind of okay because that's the normal sort of string of thirds. B, D, A, B, D, F, A, C, E, D, B, G, E, D, B. Okay, fourth mode. We are in C Lydian. Which is a major seventh chord with a sharp 11. In this context, it's a sharp 11, it's not a flat 5. That's another bit of theory for some other time. So, C, E, G, B, D, F sharp, E, C, A, F sharp, E, C. I don't know why I need to think about them so hard. I don't know. C, E, G, B, D, F sharp, E, C, A, F sharp, E, C. Fifth mode of the G major scale, which is D Mixolydian. Victor Wooten said once that bassists doesn't need to know the notes like pianist or sax player, but he says that it's a curse. He says that it's a curse. Does he say why? Does he say why he says it's a curse? Because that's interesting. You know, I've heard pianists and guitar players tell me, "Oh, Phil, when you're reading a chord chart, don't worry about the numbers. Just look at the letters." It's like, well, yeah, sure, but looking at the letters on their own, it's a bit lazy. It's a bit lazy, and it doesn't allow you really to dig deep, and especially in the context of band playing. So very often, I find that whenever something goes wrong in the song, everybody looks at the bass player, because the bass tends to be the instrument that is able to communicate to both to talk to both the harmony and the rhythm. And usually, if you're going to reset a song, like you've made a big mistake, you got lost in the structure or whatever, you turn to the bass player to make sure that everybody's aligned. So he's the one who decides, okay, if we're completely lost, and I don't know where I am either, then I'll be the one picking the next section. Are we going to a verse, mid-late, a chorus? Who knows? I get to pick, and that's where this becomes the new normal, is the bass player. 4-string Friday, Michael, always full of ideas. 4-string Friday. We might do a little bit of Fougere Friday as well today. Although we will run out of tunes very soon, because she sadly doesn't have an immense amount of videos, which is a shame. But Lia Roseri has loads of videos, but they're a lot harder to transcribe. To transcribe. Okay, no more postponing. Mixolydian mode, the fifth mode of the G major scale. It's G, which is our dominant chord, our 5 chord, which is a major chord with a flat 9. A flat 9. There are some with a flat 9. This one has a flat 7. So here we go. D, F sharp, A, C, E, G, F sharp, D, come on, B, G, F sharp, D. See what I mean? so silly. I know these notes, but in like having to say them in that order, it just confuses me for some reason. Okay, again, D, F sharp, A, C, E, G, F sharp. It's having to say them on the way down. That's why, because on the way up, I kind of know the name of the arpeggios. D, F, A, D, F sharp, A, C, E, G. I'll talk about the circle of thirds afterwards. It's not a thing, but okay. On the way down, F sharp, D, B, G, F sharp, D. Sixth mode of the G major scale, E Aeolian. Which is a minor seventh chord. A minor seventh chord. Our typical minor seventh chord. Very noisy teenager. So it has a minor third, a minor sixth, flat 7, and that's pretty much it for the weird characteristics of this one chord. So E, I know that E, G, B, D, F is the arpeggio. E, G, B, D, F sharp, even since we're in G. So E, F sharp, E, G, B, D, F sharp, A, G, E, C, A, G, E. This one's kind of easier because, I mean, you know, starting on fret 12, we're again in known territory, so that becomes kind of easier. It's essentially everything here. So that's only like 2 or 3 modes that I would really need to sort of hone in on and repeat over and over again until I just bloody get the notes in my head again. So yeah, I thought it would be an interesting thing to sort of throw at you guys and see what you think, because I think it can be pretty beneficial. Now there's something else that's pretty cool about these kind of exercises with arpeggios is, and this is where I get my new little gadget out. Okay, try not to break anything, Phil. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. Is what I call the circle of thirds. So if you're familiar with, is it writing? Are we writing? I'm not writing because I'm not capturing the screen. Restart capture. Okay, that should be working. We're all familiar with the circle of fifths to a certain extent, but the circle of thirds, cycle of thirds, it's not, I don't know if it really is a concept that any tutor would approach things with, but for me personally, it's really been kind of helpful to get my head around arpeggios and remembering the notes of each chord. And it's a similar principle. It's just you go up in natural thirds and you end up with C, E, G, B, D, F, and A. And they're all 1/3 apart, which is kind of cool. But it's also a good way to remember them, because if you start them from any other place, this will give you a major 7 arpeggio, C, E, G, B. If you start an E, E, G, B, D will give you the E minor arpeggio. So all of the natural arpeggios can be derived from just this simple string of letters, and it doesn't really matter what inversion it is. If you see G, E, C, you know that they're the 3 letters that make up a C major arpeggio, and you can derive that since it starts on the 5th, it's a second inversion arpeggio. And the same with, so if I see B, D, F, I'm like, okay, that's a diminished arpeggio, because I've got a minor third and a minor third here as well. So 1.5 sorry, 1.5 tones and 1.5 here as well. And these little groups of 3 notes become kind of the basis for your understanding of arpeggios. I don't know how much this, in a more practical way, if I'm looking at the chord chart and I see a D dominant, if I see a D major chord, immediately I'm thinking D, F sharp, A. That's just your 1, 3, 5. So that's already a pretty solid basis. You've already got, 2 extra notes on top of the one that's on the paper to help you sort of navigate the chord chart that you're facing. And if you start remembering this string of letters as like groups of 3 or 4, like CEGB, DFAC, BDFA, ACEG, GBDF, they become like little clusters. It's a bit like reciting the alphabet, but skipping one letter, obviously. But they become useful little jumping off points from where you can super easily, more easily navigate chord charts and this kind of stuff. That's my first time actually trying to wrap my head around explaining this little concept. So I'm probably going to do it again because it helps me remember it, and I honestly think it's super useful. Because if you do remember them in groups of 3, like I said, you see E, G, B, E, G, C, you see C, E, G, you see G, E, C, and they're all just introverted. They're all permutations. They're all permutations of the same group of notes, and that makes it very easy to super quickly find your way around the harmony of a chord and just get a super quick glimpse of it. I think it's a useful concept, and I will revisit it. I'm just throwing it out there for the first time, and hopefully you guys are not sleeping. Actually, this is not too soporific. Hopefully it's not too boring. But yeah, this is what I call the circle of thirds. It's actually very pleasant to write with this thing. Playing that reminds me of song "Wishing Well" by Terence Trent D'Arby. What specifically reminds you of that song, Michael? What was it yesterday as well that Brooksy was talking on his stream about a bunch of things, but there's one that I'll come back to at some point in this stream. What is that song that you're mentioning, Mike? I'd like to know. Wishing Well, Terence. Is it Wishing Well? Wishing Well. Sananda Maitreya. That's not. Trent D'Arby. I can't seem to find that tune. Okay, that's amateur hour a little bit there, but okay, yeah, it's weird. I can't seem to find it on Spotify. I guess they haven't bought that particular bit of catalog. Yeah. So that's my first try at trying to explain the circular thirds, guys. It'll come back. It'll come back because it's the application of that is really not that complex. If I play a C major scale and I want to go through the cycle of use the cycle of thirds to find the major arpeggio of the next chord in the circle of fifths, which is an F. Well, I do know that it's F, A, and C. So I've got, and I know I've got these notes here. It doesn't really matter what order they're in. Now I'm moving to B flat. I know it's B flat, D, F. So I've got D here, F. Okay, B flat, D, F. E flat is E, G, B. So E flat, G, B flat. I've got an E flat here. And here's my major arpeggio. And you continue, A is A flat, sorry, A flat is E, A, C, E flat, A flat, C, E flat. D flat would be D flat, F, D flat, F, A flat. So D flat, F, A flat. Or I could play it somewhere else, probably. Right there. But it's an interesting way to think about how to build arpeggios. I thought I'd take a shot at it. It's a little bit disjointed, and I don't really have a focus point on it just yet. But I wanted to see how it sounded like when I tried to explain it to you guys. It's not great. I'll concede that it's not very clear just yet, but it's a first shot. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Next thing I wanted to do, Mike. Oh, before that, Michael on his channel, Mike Brooks, was from Brooks's Bass Corner. He had a bunch of people asking him about singing and playing bass, which is not really something I've done a lot of, but I've done a fair amount of backing vocals. And most importantly, my bass teacher back in Belgium, my sort of mentor, the guy who really sort of stewarded me in the right direction when it comes to, well, what I now agree, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, and I think he's 90% responsible for that. He always had an interesting approach to learning to sing and play bass. Is that you will break it down to the simplest possible components, not of the bass line. You'll always play the bass line as it is. I don't know if I'll be able to do it again, but you remember that this bass line. So, it's fair enough. It's a pretty nice bass line, pretty original, very syncopated, very, very syncopated, which makes it super difficult to sing to. Yet again, some people do it. I've seen it done. And the way he would approach this particular problem of, you're not going to straight away be able to sing it if you've never worked on independence between your voice and your fingers, that is going to seem completely counterintuitive, absolutely nearly impossible. But there's a way to make it a bit more digestible that doesn't involve singing right away, but that will pave the way towards, one step at a time, being able to place the vocals in the right place. And the way he would break it down, super simple. You just count 1, 2, 3, 4 as you're playing the bass. I don't know if I'll be able to do it again on this one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. You see what I mean? I already can't do it, but that's kind of the approach. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeez, okay, that's something I should probably do in the bedroom, because I do remember practicing this bass line in particular and being able to eventually sing it. And the way I got there was by counting first the quarter notes, and then counting the eighth notes, then counting the upbeat eighth notes, and then eventually I managed to force enough to split my brain in two, and I was able to eventually sing along to myself playing the bass. It didn't sound great because I don't have a really fantastic singing voice, but and obviously it's not the best demonstration since I can't do it. But that's you'll have to take my word for it that it did really work for me, and it works a lot better when it's simpler bass lines. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and you just like that. Do something more simple in terms of vocals, and then eventually you'll be able to slowly differentiate between the part of your brain that plays the song and the part of your brain that has to sing it. There we go. That's another little something that I wanted to communicate that to Mike, but since he had quite a lot of people chatting, I wasn't able to. I thought, since it's helped me quite a lot, I thought I would share it with you guys as well. Super helpful. If you guys have any suggestions, anything you'd like to hear, or anything you're working on at the moment, do let me know. I'm gonna do a little bit of memory refreshment with the jazz solo that we transcribed on stream some time ago from Oscar Peterson Trio from the album We Get Requests. This is Days of Wine and Roses at let's put it at 65% speed. Ooh, that might be a little bit over optimistic, but we'll give it a shot. Wait, is Amazing Slowdowner actually playing? No, it's not. Good thing I checked. Okay. Starting again. Whoopsie. Not too bad. I do remember it. Pretty happy with that. I did miss a couple of sections, including that. Etc. etc. Still a pretty difficult, pretty challenging technically. Etc. etc. Yeah, it's a nice nice exercise for the for the memory as well. But that's the good thing about music, is that the moment you remember one note, the next one kind of becomes easier to remember. It's like a chain, and every time you're on a different link, you can see the one that's behind, and you can sort of see the one that's after, because you kind of remember, and eventually you're able to piece it back together. Memory, eh? Pretty good. Okay, now time for the hard bit. Jeez. This line, it's gonna give me nightmares. This is from Lior. Michael, you're familiar with Lior, obviously. I don't know why I picked this one. I could have picked something a little bit easier, but I did run through it again today, and boy, I've got a different fingering for it. Not that it really matters, since I can't play it anywhere near the speed at which he's playing it at, but etc., etc. Nope. It's a little bit faster than yesterday, but it's nowhere near as intelligible as a musical line. But that's cool. Okay, now that all of this is out of the way, it's time for some Emmeline Fougeret. What are we going to do this time? We did do a couple of them. Did we do all of the crazy lines that she does on that? Okay, maybe not. Ooh. What shall we check out? She really doesn't have that many videos, actually. That's a shame. It's a real shame. Well, nearly as many as me, though, so not too bad. Ooh, I have not listened to this one at all, so I don't know what to expect. 0%. I promise you. Look, you can look at the history. Look at this video. All the other ones have got red bars underneath them. This one doesn't, so I've never heard it before. So that's gonna be interesting. Nice. Sorry, Mike. You're right. Again.
I've been feeling kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out, whenever rain's here. And you ain't got a flash when you're taking your picture. You ain't gotta drown no extra attention. Paparazzi wanna shoot ya. Niggas down for less out here. I've been in my bag anyway, trying to do what bag is to say. You can turn in the face. Baby, man, I want some mayonnaise. Niggas cry for less out here. Do what I gotta do, bruh. Get up in my room, yeah. I can't be round that open strip. I need that.
Yeah, obviously this we're going to get through that.
When you lost, I need that. When you lost it, I can't be flying down that empty. Bad bitch in my whip. I need that. When you lost it, I need that. When you lost it, and it's so good for me. It's so good for them. I need that. When you lost it, I need that. When you lost it, I got way too much to lose. So you can blow up real quick. I need that. When you lost, I need that. When you lost it.
Well, hot diggity damn. Okay, that's gonna be another. That's gonna be another tricky one. Thank you, Emeline, for bestowing those beautiful bass lines upon us. Tricky, tricky, tricky.
I've been feeling kinda cooped up.
I think that's the regular bass line to that song. There's something that she does further on that I think she's picking up on some synths on the track. Just it sounds excellent.
Get some fresh air. You got the roof, I kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof.
Again, it's like I know what she's doing roughly, but it sounds so foreign because she's not playing the regular notes.
Feeling kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof, feeling kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof.
That can't be it.
Feeling kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out. Cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. I've been feeling kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out. Whenever rain's here.
No.
Fresh air. You got the roof out. Kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out.
So 1, 2, 3. Go.
I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out. I'm trying to get some fresh air.
Ah,
I've been feeling kinda cooped up. I'm trying to get some fresh air. You got the roof out.
yeah, I think we've got that one. So cool. Dun, 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 dun. So we're in A major. So A, G sharp. A, G sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, open E, F sharp. So what is she doing? What is she doing? We're in A major 7. So she's going down the scale. Skipping the 4th, because you never play the 4th on... You try never to play the 4th on a major 7th chord. That's kind of a loose rule, but it doesn't sound... Yeah, people say it doesn't sound very nice. Where's my D? Of course, you wouldn't play the D because it's an F. It's a D sharp. It's the 4th degree of the E major scale. That sounds logical now that I think about it. So, and then she leads super nicely into that F sharp minor, F sharp Dorian chord. Very, very cool. That's one first line. Jeez, she's already blowing my mind. That's very cool because the bass line does have this little motif, but she plays something before it. There's no 2/5. There's no minor 2/5s in this song. What am I doing? Very interesting. What chord is that on? So of that A major Lydian, that is so beautiful. Wow. So she does play the so in A major, and she plays E, D sharp, D, E, which is kind of like E major 7 shape, but in A she's highlighting the 5th and the sharp 11. Let me just check that out. It's yeah. So over that A major sharp 11 chord, she plays kind of a E major 7 shape. That happens to have that D sharp in it. That just sounds really, really cool. Is it D sharp? Yeah, it is D sharp. Just double checking. Which also happens to be the major 7 of the key that we're in. Damn, dude, she's already blowing our mind. Well, yeah, my mind. Okay, where is she taking us next? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we want, isn't it? So I think the initial bass line is the original. She's following the original bass line on the recording, but then she's okay. Then she's off. Ooh. We're gonna do a little cheating. Just tiny bit of cheating. Just a little bit of cheating. Oh, wow. And a bit of crabbing at the end. Jeez. Crabbing? It's not called crabbing. But I like to bring in animals in my metaphors. Whew. Oh, wow. I think I've got it. So, from the top of the chorus. That is such an original thing to play. How? So, start the chorus. It's nice. It feels symmetrical. And there's just one extra note in between. Damn, dude. You break it down and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. It's not unbelievably complicated. It's the execution seems so effortless. Again, bravo, Emeline Fougeret. Okay, and at speed, I don't. Poof. That's so fast. Well, I did get it, but jeez, no way I can. It's like the other one. Oh, it's even higher. I'm still a million miles from making it sound like I mean it, as opposed to a little bit of a fluke. But this one, man. How does she even get that position into that position? Sorry. She just jumps straight from. So. Well, we got it, Michael. We got it. Still, no chance I can play that live, or that is gonna just jump out of my the creative part of my brain anytime soon. But wow. You think the lines should finish and then there's still a couple of things left to. Let's do it. I'm excited about this one. Okay, so with that. Hmm? Okay, one thing at a time. One thing at a time, please. Oh, that's just... it so goes against the patterns that I've got in my head. It's like, this is pushing me around in a delightful manner. Oh, I can't wrap my head around it. Okay, 75% speed. Here we go. Nope. Yeah. My tone isn't quite right for this one. Okay. Wow, what a cool line. Bit listen. Yeah, I think I've got it roughly. Mike says, what she has that savant ability to foresee where she wants to finish from 2 measures ahead, like a Rain Man. I love to see her line confound you a little bit. Makes me feel a little bit better. Yes. I am, after all, a normal human being. I reckon you'd speak to her and she'd explain it to you like, oh no, it's just I've practiced this way and this kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. And you'd be like, but this person is normal. How can so much magic be contained in such a normal human being, at least in appearance? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what is really happening under the hood? But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I have a feeling they are written, or at least heavily practiced bass lines. Still, that doesn't take anything away from it, because the point is still, she came up with that kind of stuff. She came up with these bass lines, which already is just kind of mind blowing by how original and different they are. Just I've never really heard anything like it. You know, you can tell a gospel guy, they'll just bit of this, bit of this, bit of that. But I've never heard these kind of bass lines here. This kind of play on rhythm and different patterns altogether. It's just a really odd, a very unusual thing to see, especially from someone who, I mean, no offense to Tours, which is the city where she comes from. I think I saw in an interview, but Tours is not doesn't have the reputation of having like a really vibrant musical scene. It's not like, you know, you could say that about Paris, you could say that about big capital cities around the world, because that's usually where the big music schools are. You know, Rome is famous for its classical and jazz conservatories. Brussels has a really good similar thing. Paris has a good reputation as well. Obviously, let's not talk about New York and LA. You have they're not the only ones. Obviously, there's plenty of excellent music schools around the country, but the most famous ones are obviously on the east and west coast. But Tours, I mean, I know where it is, but it's not a famous place for music schools or its music scene. I mean, it's still a fairly large city, but I just don't. How do you become so musical? I do not know. The French will still surprise me. Well done. Maybe I'm showing a little bit of a jaded side here. It's like I would like to understand what kind of chemistry and what kind of stars had to be aligned to create this environment for this person to soak in these kind of musical influences and then make it her own and insuffler and infuse her playing with these awesome original ideas. I do not know. I'm just stalling, really, because my brain is fried at this point. Okay. But I've got this one, though. So, from the beginning. Ah. Oh. Damn. It's so bouncy and so unpredictable. You just have absolutely no idea at first what she's doing. It's really really something magical. She plays these lines that seem to just come out. They sound really alien, really completely alien. Like I've never heard this kind of stuff. And then I break it down. I'm like, oh no, it's a bit of this and a bit of that, but repackaged in a way that I have no clue what she's doing at first. Wow. Am I going to stop gushing over these bass lines? Do I have to? I don't really have to, do I? Nah. Okay, there's a bunch of things I'm skipping because at this point my brain is a little fried. But we're not done yet. Oh, it's that little section there. Jeez. Oh, damn, it's so groovy. So, what's the word? Whimsical? No, not really. Yeah, so pointless. Good at it. And they happen at such odd places in the bar that you wouldn't expect a phrase talking about. What was the name of the guy the other day who was asking about playing over the bar line? Was it Zachar? Was it you, Zachar? I can't remember. He's probably off studying. But you were asking about, somebody was asking about playing over the bar line. Well, do this. Put some of this sweet spice into your brain box, and that and practice it. Just play it all the time. She knows how to play over the bar, like Michael. She knows how to play over the bar line. Like I've never really, yeah. I've seen that before in gospel, guys. But this is something different. Okay. Nope. No idea what she's doing there as well. Who does that? Oh. Is that it? Nope. I'm so close. That's it. What is this? She makes my mind start to wander. Like, is that fly that was bothering you okay? I'm a Christian with a Buddhist sensibility, so I hope that fly is all right. She makes my mind start to wander. Like, is that fly that was bothering you okay? I'm a Christian with a Michael, are you missing a comma somewhere? This is very cryptic. She makes my mind start to wander. Like, I'm following you there. Like, is that fly that was bothering you okay? That's how I'm reading it. I'm a Christian with a Buddhist sensibility, so I hope that fly is all right. That's Jainism, isn't it? The Jains are their religion forbids them from hurting even flies, as far as I remember. Oh, there was a fly. Mate, your memory sometimes, like, honestly, just you've got a very active mind, always full of interesting ideas, and scarily remembering practically everything I say or do. No paranormal occurrences today, so that's good. That's good. We're good for that. Is that it? Is she playing the same note twice? That's what she's doing. Okay. What is she actually doing? What is she actually doing? So we're still in A major. Interesting. So compared to an A major, yeah, I guess this is what Emily does to your brain. Cool. Major 7 approaching our root notes. Pretty standard. But then she's playing a natural 4th. And then a 6th. 5th. And then a major 3rd. And then moving on to the E. So it's a very, very unusual combination. Very super, super unusual fills. Yeah, so this is... I'll transcribe this last one and then I'll go and eat some food. God damn. Gosh darn it. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's it. Okay, a little bit of cheating here because I don't even know exactly when I come in. Okay. Yep. That is very interesting. So we're on the 5 chord, which is like a B. So B major. Is it? Not really that, is it? B9? It's a B dominant of sorts. And she sort of walks up chromatically, then to the D natural, which is suggesting that we're going from to go back into an E major. So, oh, but the logic is not. Guys, I'm so bad at this streaming thing. Gosh, I need a checklist. I need a proper checklist. I'm playing piano and nobody can hear it. Well, that's okay. That is okay. It's only been a month and a half, right? You've got to throw yourself at things sometimes and hope for the best. You would think that in this song she would go to a D flat. A D flat half diminished. Oh, there's the fly. Michael, did you summon? Can you summon flies? That's an interesting question. Like, clearly, when it comes to fills and moments where, very sorry. She does play these fills at a time where the music is sort of suspended because we know where we're going. We're going back to the one. Especially in this tune, she seems to be playing them in the same spot, which is sort of at the end of a cycle. Obviously, there's little fills and interesting articulations all over the place, but the sort of longer licks, she plays them where the ear of the listener is already used. We already kind of know that we're going home. It's like, oh, this is the end of the section, at the end of the chord cycle, the chord progression, sorry. And the ear is kind of used to the idea that you can sort of, anything could happen at this point of the chord progression. And I think she takes advantage of that, especially in this tune. Whether she does it consciously or she just has this intuitive feel for when to play licks, which is what I would go for, which is that she feels naturally that this is a good place to play things. And therefore, these kind of concepts, they would apply to, let's say, like a Chet Baker, I think, where if you're just going to play one long note and make it really haunting, emotional, then you should avoid notes that aren't particularly interesting. But in her case, since it's so close to actually being percussive, nearly, that I don't think it's. I think you're right. I think it's just a matter of context. And just here, she plays. That's the second time that she plays. Because the lick just before, there she is again with a D natural. How does it go again? Totally forgotten it now. Yeah. Very, very interesting. She really does not cease to amaze us. Hang on. Is it an octave? Now I'm curious. I have a feeling that these very last notes are part of the bass line of the song, because I love that tune. Tints. There it is. I had a feeling she was playing that. Yeah. I've listened to that song probably, I don't know, 50 to 100 times. And I'd never heard that. She heard it. Well done. So we already know that she has really, really amazing ears. Like she'll pick up on the smallest little detail in a song that most of us would just, it's part of the landscape, but we wouldn't hone in on it and be like, oh, this little thing, I'm gonna play in unison with that. Another day full of lessons from Emeline Fougeret. 3 lessons. All you need to do is pay attention. Pay attention to everything she does, or everything, not in general, but pay attention to everything. Derive insight from everything. Well, that seems as good a place as any to go and have some food. Bit of a slow day today. We didn't have a lot of traffic, but Michael, very faithful, very loyal, and always engaged. I very much appreciate that, Michael, as per usual. I've been a little bit stuck for, like super interesting content, because I've been dedicating all my days trying to build that bloody website. And once it's fully out with the app, there'll be more interesting things to do. But for the time being, I'm kind of hanging on by a thread and relying on tropes a little bit. But hey, dude, it takes a while to figure out what exactly you want to do when you're streaming. Do I want to do more talking? Do I want to do more playing? Do I want to do more engaging with you guys? These are all open questions. I think I should keep an open mind and try to have a bit of a plan, but most importantly, just sort of like throw things out there and see how a conversation can emerge. I think this is probably more interesting for the audience in general. I'm not too sure. But again, that's what I like to do. I like to throw myself at problems and sort of brute force my way through them. So this is what I will do again with this particular endeavor. Shall we just play a little something in the meantime? Just some kind of old, something cool that I actually know how to play, and not just figure out somebody else's awesome licks. I'm just looking at all these tunes and I'm like, this is all just it's copyright strike after copyright strike. Oh, you remember this tune? Oh, yep, my brain's a bit fried today. I don't think I'll be able to do a lot more after all that. I appreciate that, Michael. I am glad. I'm also very glad I'm still alive, and I'm glad that you. I'm glad that you're following my journey with such interest. It's very much appreciated, and I'm sort of trying to find exactly what can work here, because I find that the sort of watch me play YouTube videos have become just really, really stale. But I'm not entirely sure as well that there is an audience for people who want to play an instrument. So it's an interesting thing. Is it? Do we want to do more playing, more listening, more talking? Could this be more of a like a talking forum rather than the playing one? Because I mean, let's face it. When it comes to answering all sorts of super advanced technical and theoretical questions, I don't. I've got the tools to figure out the answers, but since it's kind of to a certain extent, it's a bit of a one-way communication. It's very difficult to get some real, actual feedback. So there's probably another format to explore there. Maybe inviting you and and some other friends from my days in London to talk and play. But then it becomes more of a podcast, and that's kind of what I didn't want to do. I wanted to do something more. I wanted to do some more playing, but something that was also live and authentic. So something that's in between. That's in between the sort of watch me play YouTube video, where I've rehearsed and practiced the same tune over and over again, and a live performance. Something that's in between, but also not something where people just shout out requests, like Glowstick does, which works for them. But I don't have a 3-piece band where everyone can sing lead at my disposal at the moment. So, food for thought. I just have to spend more time trying and throwing ideas out there and seeing what works. And sometimes, people have other things to do, so it's I've got to find a different way to capture the interest of people. Yeah. Definitely more playing, though. I need to do more playing. But then the issue with that is all the copyright issues. All the copyright problems. Yeah. Regardless, onwards and upwards. Tomorrow's a new day, and I really enjoy doing it. Regardless, so I think that's what I need to remember. I like doing this. I find it super enjoyable. And I'll continue doing it until I find, until I find the identity of this little thing we're trying. Michael, maybe you could use a zany sidekick, like a skeleton sitting next to you, offering occasional wacky comments. Craig Ferguson had a skeleton. Yeah, that's right. What was his name? The name of the skeleton. Was it George? Was it? And he had a voice a bit like that. Yeah. What's up, Zahar? I'm just about to leave because stomach's growling, and I've got to prepare some food. Oh yeah, what was the name of that zany sidekick? What was the name of that? It's gonna bother me until I remember it. Great. It was Jeff. It was Jeff. And he had this weird hand that would always just sort of flop about. And he also had a horse, that's right. Yeah, that was a good show, actually. He was, such a good host. Is Jeff. Jeff the Robot. He had his mouth organ and his big serpent mug. Yeah, that was Craig Ferguson. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. I didn't watch it when it was actually on TV, first of all, because I think I was still in Belgium. Way before I moved to... Or just a bit before I moved to London. But still. He did this show afterwards with his wife, I think. Craig Ferguson, where they were sort of exploring new concepts together as a couple, which seemed like an interesting thing, but I don't think they carried on. Yeah, I don't think they carried on for more than a season, I think. Yeah. Gents, thank you very much for joining again. A real pleasure. I promise once the site is online, I'll be able to divert my mental energy towards the stream again and come up with some new, cool, interesting concepts. Yes. In the meantime, I bid you all farewell, and I wish you guys a good evening/day. I should probably spend the weekend off, I reckon, to finish that website, to finish that app, and then I can sort of refocus. So, we'll see. Maybe a Sunday stream. Okay, let's just say I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'll take tomorrow off, and then I'll be back on Sunday. Right, although I might change my mind, but We'll see. Let's aim for Sunday. See you, Michael. See you, Zachar. I'll see you on Sunday. Have a lovely